Hi everyone. Today we're going to learn about the two different types of interest, where we can get simple interest or we can get compound interest. Now, one of the interests is not necessarily better than the other. It depends on the situation. So let's look at some vocabulary that we need to know for this finance chapter. So interest is the cost of borrowing money. It's a fee. If put my money in a bank or in a financial institution, then the bank gives me interest because it's paying me a fee to use my money. Likewise, if I take out a loan, I have to pay the fee to that financial institution. So interest could be a good thing if we're letting someone borrow our money, or it could be a fee to us if we need to borrow someone else's money. Now, simple interest is interest that's calculated only on the principal, only on the first amount that I invest. So I'm getting the same amount of interest every single month, and it's calculated based on that beginning amount. Compound interest is interest on top of interest. It's calculated on whatever the current amount is. So as my money increases, so does my interest. So that's why they tell you to invest in compound interest accounts early on so that it has time to grow and then grow on top of that and keep building and it increases in an increasing fashion. And principal is how much money you put in at the beginning, the original sum of money. Now, simple interest is linear. You earn the same amount of money every single month or every single year, no matter how much money you now have in the bank. Okay, it increases at a constant rate. Compound interest, however, is modeled by exponential growth. As your money grows, so does the amount of interest. So it's increasing at an increasing rate. We're going to look at an example of a table of 5% simple interest versus 4% compound interest, both with a principal of 1,000. So we start with 1,000 in year zero, and simple interest is increasing by $50 each month. Compound interest, however, is increasing by $40, then $41, then $43, now $45. So it's increasing at an increasing rate. But simple interest in the first 4 years is better. Get more money. In the first 9 years, simple interest is still better. Still increasing at the same $50, but now compound interest is starting to increase by $53, $55. So it's increasing faster than simple. And eventually you see somewhere around year 12, they catch up. And then by year 15, compound interest is much better. Even though compound interest is only 4% and simple interest is 5%, the compounding is stronger and gets you more money in the long term. Now, what this looks like on a graph, simple interest goes up by 50 and up by 50, and the slope is 50 and always 50. Exponential growth, we start out going up 40, but then the slope increases and increasing and increasing, and that's why we have the exponential curve. And all of a sudden, by about year 15 or 16, the money really starts going up a lot, and compound interest gets you more money. So depending on how long we have our money in an account, compound interest or simple interest may be better. Now, to calculate the formula for this, to figure out how much money I have, simple interest we see goes up by 50, so it's linear. So our slope is 50 and our starting point was 1,000. So A, which is our final value, is 50t plus 1,000. And compound interest, we take and multiply by an additional 4% over and over and over and over. So our final amount is an exponential function where we have to multiply by 1.04 t times. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to learn how to utilize these equations to figure out how much money I have depending on the parameters of the interest, the time, and how many times it compounds.